Hey guys, we're going to be walking you through our coaching field manual. This is going to be how to find a good coach. We're big advocates of having a good coach and mentor, and sometimes taking those first steps to find your first coach can be a little daunting. There's some things we're going to walk you through here to help you weed that out. What do you got to do to take the steps to get your first coach? And the reason we're so big on this is because that just takes you to the next level, and it will help you do more than you're able to do solely by yourself. So that's why we have this field manual, and that's why we're going to be walking you through it. So be sure, this is going to be a 3-part video series, so be sure to click subscribe and then go to 9to5ers.com and download the coaching field manual. And you'll be able to follow along with us as we're going through this field manual. So we're gonna try to keep this pretty short and sweet to the point for the most part. There's going to be so many things that we could touch on, but you know, we have to draw the line somewhere. So we're going to try to keep this focused and to the point and get you on the path to getting a coach and get you to living the life that you really want to live. So with this field manual, the big objectives are going to be really, how are you going to find a good coach? How are you going to evaluate a potential coach? What are some of the responsibilities for both the student, which would be you, or the coach? What kind of responsibilities do you expect to see out of the coach? And then we're also going to try to explain some of the differences between what a good student-coach relationship would look like versus maybe a bad one. So first off, how do you find a good coach?
Well, Reese, you actually might have the coach that you're looking for in your life right now, but neither of you know it. And maybe the coach isn't necessarily, that's not what they do. They might not be part-time or full-time coaches. They might just be kind of doing their own thing. And the revelation might just kind of have to happen after you've done a little bit of your homework and gone through this process and then approach that coach. But the trick to knowing if the coach is in your life or not right now, or maybe you need to go and seek this person out, is that you need to create a framework, or what we like to call an avatar. And this is a ideal coach that you would want to have in your life. And this is what you're going to be using as a framework to evaluate potential coaches as they kind of come in and out of your life and as you kind of approach people. So the first thing you want to do is kind of create your avatar. And how do you do that? Well, you have to kind of ask yourself the right questions. Is this person where you want to be? Whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, are they in the ideal spot that you are? And I would say that the person has to be, they can't be too close to where you are, because then the relationship is going to happen and it's going to end fairly quickly. But they need to be as close to living your preferred life as they possibly can, without having to nitpick and find someone that is living your ideal life is next to impossible to find, in the fact that you just need to find somebody that is further along than what you are. And is this person morally just and of good character? And there's multiple reasons for that, and we'll get into that a little bit later. And would you be happy if you could accomplish what they have already accomplished in their lives? And just one caveat here about the looking for the perfect coach or mentor: they don't have to be perfect in every single part of their life. You just need to have someone that is doing very well in a couple of different areas of their life, and then take the knowledge that they have from those parts of their lives. And you don't have to look for the perfect person. So finding someone, it's that Goldilocks of finding someone that isn't maybe a year ahead of you versus someone that is not really someone that doesn't even exist, that perfect person. So you have to kind of try and figure this out as you go. So once you have your avatar created, it's time to start looking for that person and that fits your avatar as a coach. And remember, this person does not have to be perfect, like I said, or an expert in everything. If I had a coach that was a master in real estate but did not have a great marriage, I would take his real estate advice and I would skip the marriage advice. And I would maybe take that into the part where maybe this person spends way too much time at the office, and how can I differentiate myself and not go down that same road? And I want you to understand that you can learn two different things from people. You can learn what they're doing right and also what they're doing wrong. And if a person is killing it in their field that you want to grow in, that's awesome. But if they have a terrible marriage, then you might need to look at it like, how can I achieve what this person has and delegate at the same time and be able to come home and have supper with my family at 5 o'clock every single night. So it's okay to have multiple coaches, and each is going to have their own strengths and weaknesses. All of my coaches are not perfect people, and they have their own strengths and weaknesses. But Reese, why don't you kind of explain how you can apply the avatar that a person has created?
Yeah, so one of the easiest ways to start applying an avatar for what you want your coach to look like is to really start around your local area. That helps to generate that person-to-person interaction. I know that's always not always possible. Maybe they don't exist in your area. Maybe that online interaction, but that local area may be that you're within that kind of silo, that niche of where you're at. So to start doing that, the first thing you want to do is who are those people that I want to grow to be like? You know, if you want to grow to be a successful real estate investor, maybe you look for somebody who's successful in real estate in your area. Or if you want to have a good marriage, if you want to have a successful marriage and you're looking for that kind of relationship coaching, that relationship advice, then maybe you look for somebody who has that marriage that looks like the marriage that you want to have for yourself. So take a look at what they're doing, where their successes are, and get an idea of who that person is. Find them out. One area to look as well is in clubs and organizations. So if you're looking for a real estate investor type of thing, then join a local RIA, the Real Estate Investor Association, and you can start to network in there and see who's doing good things that you may want to emulate or learn from in that arena. Or maybe just have where you need to increase your ability to do some public speaking. Join a Toastmasters. That's a great organization. I know Joe's done a lot of great work with the Toastmasters group that he's in. So, and we know some other people that are even leading Toastmasters groups now. It's just been phenomenal. So if you're looking for that sort of thing, just really look for clubs and organizations that are centered around what it is that you are wanting to try to do. And then on top of that, try to look for maybe Facebook groups, Facebook events, and Meetup. Meetup has a lot of events that have very topic specific groups where the people that are involved with those groups are really focused on that same very specific topic. So you can join those, get involved with those, start learning who's who in those groups, and start to pick the brains of some of the more successful people who are able and willing to help out with one another. So, you may not always get quite the narrowed down selection in those kind of groups, because there are a lot of people maybe trying to do the same thing as you as far as what you're trying to achieve. But it gives you a lot better than just trying to go knocking door to door to see what everybody's done. That gives you ability to filter through that and get it down a little more clear. So then just kind of keep cycling through until you find what it is that you are really looking for, and getting that community of people around you.
Absolutely. And I would say that waiting for a good coach is definitely smarter than picking the first one you see. Just because someone is knowledgeable in an area and they've had some success in it doesn't mean that they are going to have the time, the energy, or the ethics to want to reach out and help you. So I would say treat it almost as if you're kind of like dating somebody. Like, cast your net wide, talk to a lot of people, and this potential coach could be guy or girl. It could be of any ethnic background. It could be of any age range. And once you kind of talk to a few people and you kind of click with them, then you can approach them on a more formal basis. And we're going to get in that in the next video. But just keep checking them against your avatar and seeing who is where you want to be, and also, do you have a connection with them? So we're going to get into that a little bit more in the next video.
Yeah. So before we get on to that next video, please do me a favor and let me know in the comments 2 sentences of what your avatar looks like. What kind of things are you wanting to be successful at? What does that person who's already successful look like? Because that will help you to define for yourself what it is that that avatar looks like. And then it just kind of lets everybody else know that, hey, maybe this guy's looking for help in that arena, and you can get some good free help on that.